whatever happens to that West Ham who used to beat the teams that we weren't supposed to beat, but then we would lose to teams that we were supposed to beat. We always used to give these big teams a bloody nose. All right, maybe not Liverpool up at Anfield traditionally, but the big teams would give them a bloody nose. You know what I mean? I don't know what's happened to West Ham. I'm sick. I'm particularly sick of watching us get thumped at home. And we got a really, really soft underbelly. So much wrong with that game, by the way. I think ordinarily you can't really call for a manager to be replaced after you've lost to whoever are top of the league. At the moment it's Liverpool, but this Liverpool team, you could have suggested it was, whatever, Man City 2 or 3 years back or whatever. I think ordinarily you can't. I think at the moment we can. Because I've been calling for it anyway, even when we were winning. Oh, as you know, if you're regular watchers of the channel, I wasn't particularly impressed when we were winning. I've been saying this, I've been labouring this time and time again. We conceded 19 shots against Wolves. They should have had 2 penalties. We got really, really lucky. We've been riding our luck for a long time, it has to be said. Bournemouth, they were all over us. Bournemouth broke their record for whatever chances created or shots. I can't even remember what the bloody record was, but their record in the Premier League for chances created in a home game, that was against us. Brighton were poor, yet they absolutely pummeled us at the end. They really, really pummeled us, there's no doubt about it. Southampton basically had more shots than us. They out-attacked us, and that is one of the worst attacks I've seen. So this was coming, and I don't say that with hindsight. My actual prediction for this game was 4-0. But if you remember what I said, either yesterday or day before, I said it won't be 8-9-0 because it will get to a point and Liverpool just take their foot off the accelerator and they'll start concentrating on the next game, which of course is Manchester United. All right, I was wrong. I was wrong with the scoreline prediction. It was 5-0, but they definitely took their foot off the accelerator after 55 minutes. I think that was something like that, wasn't it? When that was the deflected Trent Alexander-Arnold shot. Started making the subs, and they started preparing for their next game. Thank goodness they did. Thank goodness they didn't have it in them and think, hold on a second, we're just going to match Arsenal's goal tally against West Ham. Fortunately, they didn't choose to do that. That being said, they still, towards the end, Salah had 2 good chances, good save from Areola as well. I'm not angry about it. I expect because I expected that. I'm glad I've actually got all the data and the notes up on the screen there behind the camera. Don't you hate it when that happens? I mean, it's pointless. I'm not a great fan of going through, particularly a loss like that in sequence. But suffice to say, we were all right for the first 30 minutes. We were. We sort of hung on. They were knocking at the door. They were. We had 2 good opportunities from Lucas Paqueta, funny enough. But we wasted them, and then that was that. I don't want to talk too much about that because we just carried on inviting pressure upon us. Our passing was really, really poor. People will make, I guess I'll make the observation that we were missing Rodriguez. Maybe not that observation, but perhaps Souček and Fabianski. It wouldn't have mattered. We still would have got thumped. Liverpool beat us by however many goals they decided to beat us by. If they'd have really decided to beat us 8-0, that's what it would have been today. Or maybe on another day, maybe we score. We hit the post, so on and so forth. But that was embarrassing. It is embarrassing. And that's why I go back to the start of the video. What ever happened to plucky West Ham who were in the chance? And I'm not even talking about the recent Moyes years. I'm just talking about that bit of pride in a home performance. It's just not there anymore. I don't know. I am off. Look, it's only because of the speculation earlier on today that I'm wondering if Lopetegui will still be in place after I've finished doing this video and uploading this video. And do you know what? There'll be a lot of people that say, well, hold on a second, this is Liverpool. Liverpool were brilliant, and we've just come off the back of a 4-game unbeaten run. All those are true, but there's always been brilliant teams, and we weren't like this. We didn't capitulate like this. This is different now. Last 2 seasons, we are getting hammered. We are getting thumped. And if it stays like this with this guy in charge, this won't. I'll tell you now. I said the same thing against Arsenal. This will not be the last time we get thumped this season. And by the way, there'll be another team that does it. That's not a top team as well. Someone else will embarrass us. And it's just going to keep happening. By the way, Paqueta. It's embarrassment. I'm sick. I don't want to see it anymore. I'm sorry. I just don't want to see it. I know he had to play him today. I understand what's going on. But I think it's been going on so long now, the FA inquiry and all the rest of it. I'm sick of offering up excuses and mitigation for it. Okay, he's under pressure. Fine, then take him out of the team. You know, do something else. One of the most infuriating things about this game, and I could spend ages telling you how good Mohammed Salah was. He was brilliant, all right? He was brilliant. If you are a Liverpool fan watching this, you know, by far the better team. I'm not saying that. Salah was brilliant. I said beforehand in the build-up to it, I've got sympathy. I've sympathy for a lot of West Ham players. I've got sympathy for Max Kilman, the ball deflecting on him, going in the goal from Trent Alexander-Arnold. I've got sympathy for the way the Mavropanos was nutmegged by Salah. No one wants to. You know, he will not want to see that replayed. He really won't. The way the ball bounced off. Well, I think that was the opener. Ball bounced off Soufal for Diaz. That being said, Diaz was complete in the first build-up to that. Diaz was completely unmarked before it then went to him. Was it? Did he basically play a 1-2 with Soufal? Was that what happened there? I've got a lot of sympathy for a lot of the West Ham players. I really do. Wan-Bissaka, he tried. Again, he tried. I thought Salah tried, by the way. I thought, you know, his passing wasn't great, but he tried. I don't mind the creative passers with their passing not quite being up there. That was bad. That was bad. Let's talk about Mohammed Kudus, if you don't mind. Kudus was the bright spark in the first half. Playing on the right, he hit the post with a long shot. I don't know, 20 yards out, something like that. Cut inside. He was doing Kudus stuff again. Started on that right-hand side. I'm not saying he has to start on the right, just don't start him on the left. The problem with the left is he can't cut inside and shoot. If he's on the right, he can cut inside and shoot. If he's in the middle, he can shoot. He's got a hell of a left foot. It's brilliant. And we have completely blunted it and completely nullified it. And it was the one chance that we had of competing this team. Even you know, we could have made it 2-1 or something like that. It's 3-0. I'm just checking my note. It was 3-0 at half time, but it was late. Salah scored very, very late. I'm not saying we were still in it then, but obviously what happened was Lopetegui tried to make some changes at half time, whatever, to change things around, whatever. He put Kudus on the left. He'd been our best player out on the right. He puts him on the left. And that was it. I'm not saying okay, he went back onto the right later on, only because Bowen got injured. I mean, it's a dereliction of duty. That's pure incompetence from the head coach. I am sorry. I'm sorry, and I don't particularly want to be saying it. And I know it's going to antagonise a few people because we've just gone on an unbeaten run for 4 games and so on and so forth. I just thought it was lucky. I thought we got lucky throughout it. I thought you could make a case for everyone else winning those games. I know they didn't. I know we got 2 wins and 2 draws. But we got lucky. I felt that this was more realistic of what we saw. And I'm just a bit grumpy. I'm not angry. I'm just a bit grumpy because I knew it was. I said to my son, I want to pick my son up before the game. And I said I think it's gonna be a long game. It's gonna be a hard watch, and it was. And I think what was worse, I don't know what is worse actually, like losing 8-0, or the opposition completely taking their foot off the accelerator and going into training mode. They were on a warm down at 4-0 and then them still scoring a 5th. And they couldn't be arsed. They weren't bothered. They were all thinking about the Man U game, Arne Slot and the players, and maybe at the end I think they brought Harvey Elliott on. Maybe Harvey Elliott wasn't. Maybe Jota. You saw Jota got his goal. But by and large, that team were just. It was easy. That was easy. I don't know if that will be their easiest game. Maybe it's when we played them. That was easier. It was easier for them today than even it was at Anfield when they beat us 5-1 in the League Cup earlier this season. Look, it cut to David Sullivan. I thought he was sat next to Russell Brand at one point, but he wasn't. He was sat next to David Sullivan Jr. He was sat next to his son. They were having a conversation. I don't know what was said. I can't lip read. I do hope what was said was, oh, well, that's Liverpool. They can do that to any team. I said a few games ago that I just couldn't see us. I looked at all the teams above us. We were in 14th. Couldn't see any of the teams above us and think that we would claw anything above them. And I thought that's just where we're going to finish. And actually, you know, last week we clawed back and we went to we got to 13th. But I don't think that's going to be the case. I do think, maybe I'm being balmy here, I do expect Man United to sort it out and to be better than us for the remainder of the season. I know maybe it doesn't look that way at the moment. But we've got Man City, we've got Fulham coming up next. And I think 14th is there. And I've seen a couple of people say, well, you know, what do you expect? When I was saying we were going to lose against Liverpool, what do you expect? We're 13th, 14th in the league. We're not meant to be 14th in the league. We're not meant to be. We moved to this stadium, we played a 60,000-seater stadium. We just spent a fortune in the transfer window. That defence has had 100... Well, that's not 100, is it? That defence had £97 million spent on it in the summer, and it can't defend. We've got internationals. We've got players that are... You know, we've got players that are worth... They say Kudus might be worth 100 million. Is he? I don't know if he's that, but I'll tell you what. But Bowen's certainly a £70 million player. We've got really, really good players. Really good players. It's not good enough just to say, well, hold on. We're 14th, we're 13th. What do you expect? Of course, we're going to lose to Liverpool. No. It shouldn't be that way. It's like you've accepted that all those teams just deserve to be above us, be it Bournemouth, be it Fulham, be it Forest, without really giving any consideration to how that happened or why it's happened. And it shouldn't be happening. And I think the worst thing we can do is to accept it and make no mistake about it. Saying, well, of course, we're 13th, we're 14th. Of course they're going to beat us, is accepting it. At what point? I mean, it must have happened between last season and this season. At what point did that I'm certainly in the ownership's mind. At what point did it become in their mind that was acceptable? At what point did we stop? What point did the 10-point plan stop? At what point did we stop trying to be a European team and think, well, okay. It was like that thing a couple of weeks ago against Bournemouth, whereby because the bookies had said we were supposed to beat them, they were supposed to beat us. If we'd have lost, it would have been fine. Well, if you look at the league at the moment, there are really only 6 teams who technically we should beat. And do you know what? We've beaten 2 of them. But that means anything above that is acceptable. I don't know. I'm just fed up with this. I'm absolutely fed up with it. I don't know. Look. Maybe it'd be given Man City, but maybe not. I mean, the irony is Man City have got the type of players that, again, will get in behind us. Our defence is awful. It's just bloody awful. It doesn't matter whether he goes 3 at the back, 5 at the back, change things around at left back, at right back. It doesn't matter. He's not got a combination. Even within all of those combinations, Lopetegui has not got a combination that works and can keep it tight at the back. Anyway, not much of a review, really, is it? But I'm just sick of it. I am absolutely sick of... I'm sick of getting thrashed. I know we lose games. I know we can lose games. We always have lost games. I'm sick of getting thrashed. I'm sick of getting thrashed at home as well. And, yeah. So, look, something needs to change. Either they change the manager or the manager does something. I'm just not convinced. Our players are too good to be where we are now. That defence, that midfield, and often the attack does not function. Anyway, thanks for watching. Sorry, probably quite a depressing video to watch. I won't be the only one that's frustrated. Well, I'm a load of you that's going to be annoyed about that. Right, I'll catch you later.